You're watching the Adrian Bauer Project. Hello. Many thanks for choosing to click my thumbnail and to watch my content. Very much appreciated as always. Okay, so today's video is something I've not done for quite a while actually, and that is going to be a plain talking review. And as you've seen from the thumbnail today, it's going to be Russel Crowe's latest offering, The Pope's Exorcist. So I'm trying to keep it as spoiler free as I can. If I'm going to give away anything, I will let you know ahead of time, but I always try not to because I don't want to spoil your enjoyment of the film. So if you've not heard about this film, I'll just read off the back what it's all about. It says, inspired by the actual files of Father Gabriel Amort, chief exorcist to the Vatican, the Pope's Exorcist follows Amort as he investigates a young boy's terrifying possession and ends up uncovering a centuries-old conspiracy the Vatican has desperately tried to keep hidden. So, you may be thinking that this is just going to be your run-of-the-mill possession film and it's an exorcism film and you've seen it all before, but I can tell you now, this is a lot more than that. What they've done with this story is they recognise that, yes, it's a trope that's been done time and time again, ad nauseum. So they wanted to try and do something a little bit different with it. And I think they have. It's based all around an actual figure, an actual person. This Father Gabriel Amort, who's sadly no longer with us. He was the Vatican's chief exorcist, and he was a bit of a rogue, a bit of a terror. He wasn't afraid to open his mouth. As it says in the film and in the extras, if you watch it as well, he did thousands of exorcisms, and he said, in his own words, 98% of them were not exorcism. They were just people that needed medical and psychiatric attention, and he was not going to perform an exorcism on them. And as he said himself as well, he wasn't a doctor, he wasn't a physician, so he always used to contact the relevant authorities and get help for the person he'd been sent to exercise. But as he said, 98% of the time, it was either, they needed psychiatric help or they were just play acting because they wanted a bit of attention and all this. As for the other 2%, he says that was all spiritual and supernatural. So I think this is what we're dealing with here, the 2%. I think this is Russel Crowe's most likable character to date. You're actually rooting for him. I know a lot of people find Russel Crowe a bit, not big fans of him, but in this is you'd want to go out and have a drink with him. If he was in this character, absolutely you would. So he's tried to capture the real person's makeup, how he was, how he used to act. Of course, it's Hollywood, and you've got to put a few of your own embellishments on it. You're not going to be doing it a carbon copy of the actual person. If you look at photos of the actual person, he looks every inch, the Catholic priest, every inch of Catholic priest. He doesn't look anything like Russel Crowe at all. But did have these little quirks that Russel Crowe has used in the film. Okay, so getting on to the story. Like I say, Russel Crowe is the chief exorcist, and he's been asked along to an American family who are renovating an old church in Spain, and they seem to think that their young son is possessed. And of course, I'm not going to be giving anything away here because it wouldn't be a film called The Pope's Exorcist if there wasn't an exorcism involved, and it turns out that the young lad is possessed, and the demon that is possessing him is a particularly nasty little bugger, to say the least. And the one thing that he does know, he knows your deepest, darkest secrets. Um, so Russell Crowe's figure and the other father that's there with him, I can't remember his name. It's slipped out of my head for a minute. I'll put it at the bottom. If you've ever seen Penny Dreadful, the second series, where it's all based in Mexico, you'll know him straight away. Sorry for forgetting his name, but these two are battling the demon, and it's uncovering some really disturbing events in their past, shall I say. Uh, on top of all that, the two fathers also find that the Vatican have been hiding a deep, dark secret about this old church that the American family is trying to renovate, and it is known to the Vatican and everything. So little sub stories, little subplots to go along with the main plot, and it makes it all the more interesting. And as I said, Russell Crowe's portrayal of Father Amor is absolutely, it's bob on. It's great. You're really rooting for him. You know what he's done in his past. The demon is trying to turn it against him, but you're thinking, you're still rooting for him. So there we go. The effects in it are excellent. No jump scares. Now, I was trying to tell my mate about this, my mate Steve, actually. He doesn't like jump scares at all. And I said, no, there's no jump scares in this. But there are a lot of Hollywood style demonic possession effects in it. No jump scares, but there's plenty of that going on. Plenty of gore for you as well, if you like a bit of gore there, but not too much. It's not wall-to-wall gore. It's not one of those. There are, I think, nods to the classic The Exorcist. Now, just as an aside, don't get me wrong, I do like The Exorcist, but I don't think it's the film everybody makes it out to be, and I don't think it's aged well at all. The William Blatty, version, you all know it. It's the 70s version, and personally, I think there's vast swathes in that film that are just so boring. The plot is ploddy, and it doesn't really get interesting until they're actually doing the exorcism itself. There's a lot of exposition into that in the original that you just don't need. This film doesn't have that. All the exposition in this film is needed. Little clips of Father Amort's past, so you know what troubles he's had in his past, and it's done very, very well. It's not over sugared. It's not overdone. It's done absolutely spot on, I think. As for the exorcism bits as well, they're done very well. Like I say, this isn't a film that you're going to watch and go, oh, this is how exorcisms are. This is Hollywood's version, because they've got to make it exciting. They've got to give you that bit of a thrill ride to it. So they have got to give the old, things flying through the air, floaty beds, demonic voices, all that. Talking about the demonic voice, see if you can spot who's doing it. I spotted it straight away. But as I say, there's plenty of the exorcism goodness, what you want. Coming to the climax of the film. Now, this is only a little bit of spoiler I'm going to give. It's not spoiler as giving the end away, but you may want to click off now, and then I'll sort of wave when I've done that. I've done it, and you can come back on. But if you've seen the film The Nun, there are very, very close similarities to the climax of that film and this film. So if you've seen The Nun, you know what the climax is at the end of that. There are similarities, and you'll see what I mean when you watch the film. Okay? But it's a great it's a great ending. I like the ending. The story that we find out what the Vatican are hiding. I think that's great. That's a great twist that, a lot of these exorcism films are probably going to copy now. I think you're going to see a lot of copycats on this film. And at the end, I think they have left it open, possibly for a second one, probably a third one. I don't know. Who would I recommend this film to? Horror fans, definitely. If you like exorcism fans, yes. If you love the Conjuring universe like we do, this is right up your strata, absolutely. Um, like I say, I don't want to give anything away. I want you to all go out and enjoy it because it is a fantastic film. So, with that in mind, I am now going to give my Evil Ednas. We know 1 is my lowest, 5 is my highest, if you've not watched my videos before. So for Russel Crowe in The Pope's Exorcist, I'm going to give this my full 5 Evil Ednas. Many thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and to ring the little notification bell.